Hey everyone, my name is Peter and this is my trade number 200. For those of you who are new to the channel, I record one trade a day that I do, one option trade. So this is number 200. So what did I trade today? The ticker symbol is XBI. The company is Biotech ETF. Well, obviously it's not a company, it's an ETF. And it's in the biotech space. So as we can see it on the chart, the price dropped a little bit today, and now it's hovering around the $80 mark, 79.53. That's where it closed. And because I've been trading this particular ETF for some time, I know that I'm quite comfortable with the $80 put option. So I sold the December $80 put option. It expires next Friday, so it's a very short period. And the credit that I received was $2.18. So if the price goes above the 80 or stops above the $80 by next Friday, then this is going to be a massive win. And if it doesn't, then that's fine. I can roll it to next month. So I also had the opportunity to close a couple of other trades today. So trade number 176, or actually a slight correction, I had the opportunity to close a few trades earlier this week and a couple today. So trade 176 was on SQ, which is block. Or square, in other words. As we can see, I had to make a few adjustments. The price fluctuated a fair bit. So initially I sold a December 37.50 and 72.50 strangle when the price was fairly low. The volatility was quite high at that point. Over here on the bottom, we can see the volatility was peaking. And the credit I received was $2.25. Now, what happened after that is the following day and the day after that, the price jumped quite a fair bit, and that made me panic a little. So I moved my lags up to 50 put and 80 call, but I still stayed in December. Now this cost me 38 cents in credit, so my total credit dropped to $1.87 from the $2.25, but I was fine with it because I moved my call up by $7.50. So basically I took $7.50 less risk and sacrificed 38 cents. So for me that was a no-brainer. And fortunately, I did that because as we can see it, the price just kept going up and reached, or in fact exceeded 75 at some point. So on the 15th of November, I rolled my put option from 50 to 55, and I left the $80 call. I was hoping that it's not going to continue going up, thinking that, it was at, below 55, so around 52 on the 3rd of November, and 10 days later it went up to 75. That's a humongous increase. So I was hoping that is going to be a peak of some sort and the price is going to come back down. That's why I left my $80 call there. So I received a 40-cent credit for moving my put side up to 55. I didn't want to move it higher because like I said, I expected the price to come back down, so I didn't want to take more risk. So my total credit jumped back to $2.27, and then I just left it running for a couple of weeks and finally was able to close it on the 5th of December at 89 cents. So this produced a 286% annualized return. So I was quite happy with this trade. So let's take a look at the next one. Now this one is also square. So on the same day, on the 5th of December, when the price dropped a fair bit and I was able to close my other trade, I figured that, okay, I'll take the risk and I'll sell a January $50 put option. I received $1.54 for it, and the price did move against me for a couple of days, but then fortunately in the last couple of days the price started to go back up again and I was able to get out of the trade. Didn't make a huge amount of profit, but in terms of, so I closed it at $1.16, and that's an annualized profit of 691%. So yeah, I would do these sort of trades any time of the day and any day of the year. It's not in terms of in dollar terms, it's not huge, but if you do it over and over, all those dollars do make up, and it's an exponential growth. So let's take a look at the next one, trade number 191. The ticker is ATVI, Activision Blizzard. Now, I made a mistake with this one. I forgot that Microsoft is working on acquiring this company, and now it's in legal battles with all sort of authorities and countries, including the EU and the US, because they want to block Microsoft from acquiring this company. And when I read into it, I realized that Microsoft offered to purchase this company at $96 per share. So when I sold the 67.50 put and the 82.50 call, so it's once again it's a strangle, I received $1.81 credit, and then the price started to go up, and that's when I panicked a little bit, and I decided that, okay, if Microsoft succeeds in their legal battles, then the share price is going to go up to 96, because that's what they committed to, and that was way too much of a risk for me. So I ended up closing this deal and lost a little bit of money, pretty much $13 in total. So it's very insignificant. The annualized profit is obviously a negative 88%. So yeah, this was a mistake that I made. I forgot that this company was about to be acquired by Microsoft, but it can also fail. So that's why the price fluctuates a fair bit, because that acquisition may not go ahead. So let's take a look at the next one that I was able to close this week. Trade number 195 against Micron Technology. So what I did here, this was a fairly low risk, kind of boring play. On the 2nd of December, I sold the $51 put option and I received 61 cent credit. So not much credit at all, but I couldn't find on that particular day, I couldn't find anything better. So I just went with something that was relatively low risk, and my assumption was correct. I did have to wait a little bit. My put option was stressed or tested a little bit for the next 3 trading days, but then yesterday and today the price did go up and I was able to get out of it at 34 cents. So once again, it's in dollar terms, it's not a huge profit, but it is a profit, and I was happy to take it. So that's pretty much what I did this week. I am not going to describe all the other adjustments that I made. As you know, every single time there's a market movement or the price moves against you, then it's advisable that you make adjustments to your position, unless you believe that you are correct. So thank you for watching. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone, and I will continue this series next week. Cheers.